Peace to the gods. Peace to the gods. Yusef here. Give me just a second, y'all. I'm experimenting. I am in the middle of experimentation. Ain't this I'm trying to see if this all right, so I can't do it. I was trying to see if I go on Facebook at the same time. What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Peace to the gods. Peace to the gods. I'm not doing a video review right now. Came in just to check in with the family, answer some questions. We need some questions answered. And and show you some things, talk about some things. I want to kind of talk about insurance and circulator a little bit. All of that. Peace, peace, peace. Just got off of just got off of a live on on Facebook. What's happening? What's happening? What's going on? Peace. I am a bit under the weather. Peace, God, peace. Does anyone have any good suggestions on where to read about letters of rogatory? Yeah, it's called creditors and their bonds. Creditors and their bonds. And there's a document called using a private attorney. I got a video on this channel on that. Man, I can't believe y'all sometimes. I can't believe y'all. It's called using an attorney as a private international lawyer. Yeah, it's right here. And I'm just gonna put the link. I'm just gonna put the link in the chat for you. There's a link right there in the chat. Using the attorney as a private international lawyer. I mean, it's a document, got a letter wrote, and then they got another letter in creditors and their bonds. Peace to the guys. Does the Kabbalion go over to utilize how to utilize laws? No. The Kabbalion, let me talk about the Kabbalion real quick. What the Kabbalion is. Let's see if we can get on that a little bit. Let me close some of these windows down. I got a lot of windows open. I had to close all these accounts down. These trolls trolling on me and everything. I got a love-hate relationship with trolls. I really do. They kind of like good. What is that? Bacteria. It's like you got bad bacteria and good bacteria. You get mad at them, but it's like shit. That's my street team. I can't. They out promoting me, so I can't get mad at them. They kind of are obnoxious. How do you fight a replevin? Is when you put in a bond, you need to put in a bond for it. A replevin. When you get replevin, that means that the sheriff has seized property. And usually they have to put up a bond that's twice the amount of the property to indemnify the sheriff. That is an old admiralty type of situation too. So you're going to do the same thing. There's some sort of seizure at property and they're forcing you to make some sort of appearance. But a replevin bond is a very interesting, that's where it comes from. It's common law, a writ of replevin. I ain't never heard nobody doing a writ of replevin, though, but that's a common law remedy. It says if a bank takes a bill of exchange from a dealership and hasn't given any party notice of defect, that's acceptance, right? How long before discharge? No, that's not. That's not notice of acceptance. First of all, you can't make no purchase with a bill of exchange. So they come and arrest your ass. I'm gonna be cheerleading. I'm gonna be cheerleading because you're sitting here trying to make a purchase and you didn't give it to the dealership, and I done told you this ain't for purchasing. See what you're doing, you're trying to do is discharge a contract. But y'all going out there, you don't even know what you're doing. You shouldn't even be using a bill of exchange if you even have to come and ask anybody a question about anything. When I started using bill of exchange, I didn't ask nobody shit. If you still at a point where you got to ask somebody a question, you shouldn't even be using it. Why are you using it? Between watching 2021 Secure Party videos are awesome things, man. It's a discharge. It's a set off is what you're doing. It's not a purchase. You're setting off a contract. That's what it is. A discharge is set off of a contract. That's one of those examples where you want to use a Black's Law dictionary, fourth edition. This is an example when you have to have an older dictionary to get an accurate understanding of what a discharge is. It's called discharge of a contract. You find that in Black's Law, fourth edition. And you'll see set off is listed under there. All right, you're setting off. And the reason it's a set off is because your straw man owes a debt to the United States, but the United States owes a debt to you. So the debt that the United States owes to you is being set off against the debt your straw man owes to the United States, and you are surety for the straw man. So if you don't got that concept in your mind, you're never going to understand what it is that you're doing. That's why it's called a set off. And it wasn't ever designed for the acquisition of purchases. I have to almost say that every time I come on a live stream. I have to say that almost every time because that's one of the things that's going to get a lot of people arrested and possibly get an attack on me. That's why I take offense when people come in my chat and they start talking about it, and that's why I'm so cruel to them because I want to make it clear that I'm not condoning what they are doing when they go out and try to buy things with this process. I want to make it clear. I don't want no videos floating around saying, well, he's over there telling you to go buy cars and houses and shit like that because it wasn't designed for that. It wasn't designed for that purpose. So, and I've been saying, and what's consistent about me is I've been saying this for like 7, 8 years. Never have come up off of it. About 7, 8 years I've been saying. I ain't just start saying it. And somebody said, what's the difference between public and private? Public means government, private means no government. There you go. There you answer. 6 hours is all about administrative process and set up. What's the main difference? It said peace to the gods and goddesses is good. They've agreed to take it, and it's a form of legal payment. No, it's not. Where a bill of exchange is a three-party instrument. Where are you drawing from? Where are you drawing from? Where are you drawing from? A bill of exchange is a form of a payment, but you're not utilizing it for that purpose to make a payment. That's not what you're using it for. Using it as a method of set-off. Just using that word payment is going to get you arrested. I'm sitting here telling you, you're going to go to prison, all right? So I'm sitting here telling you, so we'll be watching. I'll be doing a court review of your case. I'm going to be doing a court review of your case, all right? Going there, you're going to be wrestling with these people. Let's see. They can't hold me accountable. This is a troll. This is a troll right here. This ain't nobody trying. This is a troll, y'all. This is Drew J, a troll. Let's see. He's saying, what's a trade bill? It's called a trade. You got a banker's acceptance and a trade acceptance. He's trying to go into that. What is it designed for as a trade bill? What if the doctor sends you an insurance claim? Should one securitize that? I don't know. I'm waiting for the questions on Secure Party. I'm just going, I don't know. I don't know. What if a doctor sends you an insurance claim? I don't know. Let's see. I just purchased a Black's Law 4th edition for $49 plus $17 shipping. Yeah, you can find them like that. I've seen an allonge be accepted. An allonge is just something additional you add to it so you can add signatures to it. Big homie, your previous video, someone mentioned something about customer service. Let me tell you, my experience was 5-star customer service. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. They keep negotiable instrument up to 10 days. Somebody kept it up to 7 days. That don't mean nothing. How long did you tell them in your correspondence since you asked me questions? If you used a bill of exchange, that means you did an administrative process, right? So I want you right now to email me the certificate of non-response that you got right now from sending them that negotiable instrument. I also want you to see the cover letter that you put with the negotiable instrument and the processing instructions that you included with it as well. Okay, because they have to make presentment on it. So where are they making presentment of that negotiable instrument? Where did you instruct them to make presentment? So before you ask another question on here, okay, I'm going to give you HFRN, GMG, send me your process that you used. If you don't, stay out of my chat asking questions because you're misleading people. I know this backward and forward, sir. I've been doing this a very long time. And I can tell when somebody's just bullshitting. I can just tell, man, like a lot of y'all cats ain't ready for me and everything. Some of the things that y'all be saying, you just ain't ready. You just ain't ready. My shit divine. You don't have to do an administrative process unless you're doing a notary protest. You're doing a notary protest on negotiable instruments. If you don't do an administrative process and then you don't give them notice that you have a claim on that instrument according to UCC 3-603, then they're going to tell you don't have to give it back to you. Did you register a claim on it? Did you put it on a UCC 3? I'm sure you have a UCC 1 filed. And then if you did, what notice did you give to them that you have a claim on that instrument, and where did you file the claim at? I'm asking you a question. Go read UCC 3-603. I'm sorry, 3-306. 603B is the tender law. But before we get to 603, we got to deal with 306, UCC 3-306. UCC 3-305, claims and recoupment, and UCC 3-306. Because if you gave them a negotiable instrument, you got to claim to the proceeds or the product if they have accepted it. You don't have any evidence they accepted it. That's what a notary protest is for. That's why banks have notaries, because a notary is a what? A witness. So my next question is, where are your witnesses? Where are your witnesses that you sent them the negotiable instrument? What witnesses do you have? I'm gonna wait. What witnesses do you got, man? Bible required 2 witnesses, verified. What witnesses did you use when you sent them off that negotiable instrument? You already told me you didn't use a notary. So you fucked up right there. So what witnesses do you have? If they just decide to take your instrument and you sitting on here on the live talking about I gave it to them, they don't give them back. And there's a reason they don't give them back. Where are your witnesses? He don't know what the fuck he doing, y'all. He don't know what he doing. He just did some shit. He don't know what he doing. He ain't even read UCC. He don't even know what UCC 3-306 is for. This is probably his first time hearing anybody even talk about claims to an instrument. Probably talk about it. He ain't talk about it. He just gave them a negotiable instrument and they just think they just gonna accept, that they have to give it back or give him his car. That's what he think, that they accept it. But he don't have no teeth and nowhere in his process. You have no witnesses. He ain't did an administrative process. He hadn't done anything in contemplation if he needs to take legal action against him, right, without doing, he don't have nothing to go on. So the people at the dealership know that, and they gonna like, nigga, this nigga don't know what he doing. You don't know what he doing. If you use a bond, like, okay, if you use a bond, like in the using your exemption document, do you have to file a UCC 3? You got to file 3 is to satisfy the requirements of the UCC 3-306, which are claims to an instrument. When you do a UCC 3, you're going to put, check the box that says collateral add. And then you're going to put, it's going to reference your UCC 1, the filing number of your UCC 1. All it is that you're adding it to your property. If you read UCC 3-302, which is the holder in due course, you'll understand that not only do you have to file a UCC 1, but you also it's a notice. The notice requirements under UCC 1-202. Everything that we're doing involves notice. When you give somebody a negotiable instrument, mistake is something that is allowed under the UCC. So that's why you do an administrative process, because after 10 days, you're going to tell them, hey, look, I sent you a negotiable instrument 10 days ago. Was there a mistake? Did somebody lose it? You got to give them an opportunity to cure. And then you send them another notice, and then you get a certificate of default from a notary. Notaries are there for banking purposes. What you're doing, he don't understand. He's a private banker. You gave somebody a negotiable instrument using you a private banker. So there has to be a protest. I wouldn't give you shit. You got them where in writing? You got them admitting that? It don't matter if they gave it to the bank. They ain't got no proof it's yours. What proof you got, man? You sound crazy. Shit you saying sound crazy to me. They tell you ain't never been in court or nothing. You don't know what evidence is. You was talking, you got some proof. You know, the written word, it says it in the memorandum. They're going to come back and say it's fraudulent because now you're going to bring it into the public. What is it drawing off of? If they took it to the bank, that means that they trying to, what did you tell them to put it in collections? Because you don't put these through collections. Did you put a routing number on it? If you put a routing number on it, you definitely get locked up. It's a private instrument. It's supposed to be a private process from beginning to end. It's a private process. You can't mix public and private. You can't ever mix it. It's my SSN and fingerprint. Okay. I got dealership in a minute. Let me see. Brother, you put out awesome videos. I appreciate that, dog. Peace, divinely purposed. Oh, let me get to the Kabbalion. You got me all off. I was about to talk about the Kabbalion. Let me pull up the Kabbalion real quick. Somebody asked me the Kabbalion. And that's what I want to talk about, the Kabbalion.pdf. Let me see. 7 Hermetic Principles, Internet Archive. Yeah, I like this book right here. Let's see if we can put this up on the screen. Put this up on the screen. All right. The Kabbalion, Hermetic Philosophy. I love this book. You know, when I got a guy introduced me to this book, he was very intelligent. And when I read this book, but prior to reading this book, I was a big student of the law of attraction. You know, I'd read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I'd read As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. I had read The Master Key by Charles Handel. I had read The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. And, you know, I was conditioning my mind for wealth. And I might not be, I don't consider myself to be like rich right now, but I'm like very well off. You know, I consider myself well off. You know, I don't worry about, I think well off by definition, well off is when you are not worrying about bills, but you're trying to figure out how to get wealthy. You're in that space where you're not even thinking about bills. You're not thinking about rent, car notes and things like that, but you're looking up ahead, the people above you, and you're trying to get up there with them. You're trying to 300 million, 500 million, 1 billion, you know, and things like that. You know, your mind 5 million, 10 million, whatever. You know, you're thinking in those terms. And so when I came across the Kabbalion, I immediately recognized the principles that were contained in it as true. You know, I'd studied some. They got a video out called "What the Bleep Do We Know?" You should watch that. And of course, the Secret and a lot of other movies and documentaries that came out, and some things that had already been confirmed. And one of the things that had been confirmed by science is everything is a vibration. Everything that you see is a vibrational frequency, has a vibrational signature. This is why nothing can come into existence until you give it a name. So if you're going to have a business, nothing's ever going to shake for you until you name your business. And you should think big with your business too. So don't limit it to a specific industry. Give it a general name like J&M Industries or something like that. Don't say J&M Hair Care Products, and don't do that when you start your business. You know, you're going to seriously handicap yourself. Seriously handicap yourself by doing that. That is what novices do. You know, leave yourself open so you can go to anything that you want to. You know, yeah, this business now, I want to go in and do this over here. That's what you're supposed to do, because the older a corporation is, the more valuable it is. The age of a corporation. And you can do some crazy things trying to, make sure you organize it correctly too, because taxes, you're doing business. And anytime you do business effectively connected with a trade or business within the United States, there's going to be a reporting obligation. Don't let these people fool you, talking about you ain't got to pay taxes and all that. I ain't seen that nowhere. I understand public and private. I understand jurisdiction. And these people have jurisdiction to do what they're doing. Okay? And don't listen to none of them tax protesters. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But if you're going to private, it's public and private. You don't want to get paid taxes, do everything privately. Like with a private trust. Do all your business privately. Use gold and silver and all your transactions. Do everything private. And you're doing it the right way. But if you're utilizing Federal Reserve notes or anything in the system, that's a minimum contact. Don't let them tell you some bullshit. What did I just do? I was trying to. I was reading the comments. I was reading them right now. Okay, well, okay. All right. I'm trying to do this right here. I'm trying to get my comments up, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. So I don't have to keep going back to oh, it got a Zoom thing on here. Okay. Okay. Got a Zoom. I gotta check that out. I gotta check that out. I gotta check that out. Got a little Zoom thing on it. Okay. Oh, I appreciate the 1999. Who did that? James Ross. I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Let's get into this Kabbalion real quick. All right. All right, right here you see the copyrights 1908 to Hermes Trismegistus, known by the ancient Egyptians as the great, and the master of masters. Europeans, they always want to use Greek and Roman terminology. This is actually Tahuti or Thoth, the thrice great. He is looked at as the origin of all the religions on the planet. All the religions on the planet derive from this individual. That's why when you go in a Masonic lodge, you'll see them, they'll have all of the religions on there because they understand they all have one source. And it's been watered down, misinterpreted, all kind of things that happened over time, but everything derived itself from this. And it's because all the religions have to abide by certain principles. If you go into the Bible, you'll see all these principles in the Bible as well. This doesn't tell you how to use the laws. It tells you how to understand the laws. Once you understand the laws, you'll just kind of understand how to use them. Once you understand, like vibration, we know that vibratory frequencies, everything is composed of a vibration. So when you speak things into existence, that's a vibration. When you think a thought, that's a vibrational frequency. So now it stands to reason you need to control your thoughts. Now we need to learn out, well, how do I control my thoughts? And then they got other disciplines you can go into to teach you how to do all of that. But this is like, this is where that comes from. And then, of course, there are 7 principles involved in here. Like, okay, the lips of wisdom are closed except to the ears of understanding. Love it. Oh, I love this book. Love it. Where does it get down here into the 7 principles? The principle of mentalism, Everything is mind. The principle of correspondence, as above, so below. The principle of vibration, everything is vibrating. The principle of polarity, everything has two sides. The principle of rhythm, everything has a season. The principle of cause and effect, every cause there's an effect. Every effect there's a cause. That's what gives order to the universe, cause and effect. And the principle of gender, everything has a masculine and feminine principle associated with it. So when you see like with LGBTQ and a lot of the other communist Marxist people coming out talking about binary and all that, that's an attack on natural law, because natural law is already dictated that everything has a masculine and feminine, not masculine and feminine and an other. That's a principle, and any type of principle in nature is immutable, which means it's not subject to change. And the reason it's not subject to change, there's no outside force that can work change on it. And when you see nature, that's where you find God. So another pillar of communism is the elimination of religion. So when you see them all on the internet, bad talking religion, talking about sky bully and all of this shit right here, you know that they're communist, Marxist, socialists. It's what you're looking at is an attack on not just traditional values, it's an attack on natural law. Everything that has to do with these people is unnatural. Abortions, LGBTQ, victimization. How they talk about how the rich are victimizing the poor. The rich are not victimizing the poor. The rich are helping the poor. The poor problem is that they have a poor mindset. You will never find the answer as long as you're looking outside of yourself. And that's what these people take, that there's something outside of you oppressing you, when what is oppressing you is the type of thoughts that you have. And once you change your thinking, you change your condition. But to understand that, you have to have a religious foundation, like it talks about in Mark 11:22-26. If you tell this mountain to be cast into the ocean, but do not doubt it in your heart, but believe the things that you have said as if they have happened. See, they can't have you reading that. So no, we can't have that religious stuff. We can't have that sky bully shit. But see, they look at religion as some sort of made up fantasy made by some white man. Whereas that's not what religion is at all. Religion is a set of principles that teach you how to identify and utilize natural law principles. That's a true religion. The word religare means to tie back. It's a discipline. That's what like the Prophet Muhammad making you pray 5 times a day. He's teaching you how to direct your thoughts, how to have positive thoughts. This is the discipline you need to have if you want to elevate yourself to a certain level. But if you don't want to elevate yourself, it don't require any discipline. That's what these people are propagating. They're promoting a lack of discipline, victimization, depression. You need help. You need the government. Somebody's oppressing you. Somebody's bullying you. That's what it is. Let's see. Most employers will not understand what a WBN is, but y'all having your own conversation. I'm talking about the back. I'm gonna let y'all have y'all conversation in there. Let me go back to where happened this thing. Did I take it from a different window? I'm sorry about that, y'all. All right. Well, I was trying to get to the chat because I'm trying to read what y'all. That's why I needed my chat up, man. I'm trying to read what y'all saying in the chat at the same time doing all this right here. Let me just pull this out right here. Pull this out right here. Just close all this other bullshit up. What is that? Okay. I think I got it done now. All right. I saw you seen that PayPal. I did that PayPal working capital for about $60,000. If you making good, if you are making money with your business, sometimes you want to get loans like to establish credit for your business and you pay them back. That PayPal working capital is for somebody really in need to try to build a business. It's not really targeted at people kind of established. They got good cash flow, good business credit. I don't think it's for that. But if you are up and start and and there's another thing. I don't understand why they give it anyway, because they base a percentage off your sales. So if you got a good high sales volume and everything, what I need that for? You know, they charging you like 30%, taking a third of all your profit. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. They trying to get me to do it again. I ain't gonna do it again. It says casting pearls before swine. Thank you. Who's casting pearls before swine? I don't know what you're talking about. He said, did anybody answer your question? I just posted a link in the description to a video on letters of derogatory. What are you talking about, man? This dude just said, what did he say? I didn't see anyone answer my question about letters of derogatory. Nigga, I just told you. You wasn't listening. Here, I'm going to give you the link to the video again. I still got it. There's the YouTube video right there. There it is right there. I just gave it to you, you know. I said creditors and their bonds and using the attorney as a private international lawyer. Those are two documents on the internet that talk about letters of derogatory. You ain't getting no other answer, all right? A letter of derogatory is when one court sends some commands to another court. You're private, so you're looked at as your own court. Court is held on paper. All right, so you got to understand what that means also, or else you're going to get lost in the sauce when you look up the word. And I understand what you're talking about. You're coming from the private, communicating with somebody in the public. I appreciate the 100 bones, man. I need to hire you for a few hours, one-on-one video call consulting. Let me know the price and when I'm ready. When you are okay, bro. All right, that got my attention. I appreciate the 100 bones. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Contact, send me a Cash App, like a $2 Cash App, and just and say you were just on YouTube. And put your phone number. Like that. And I'll get you. Yusef L19. That's my Cash App. I'll put my Cash App in a minute. The banks are using your application to go to the federal treasury window to monetize, discount the application traded with the notes. Yes, they are, because they have the ability to monetize things, because the car contract is a security. It most certainly is. And they tell you that on the contract. On the back, the Federal Trade Commission makes them put a notice on there. It's called a claims and defense notice. And that is for the investors on Wall Street. And now you need to understand what a claims and defense notice is and what it is, what it's supposed to be. But they got the ability to do that. You don't. They're securitizing it. What they're doing is they're securitizing it. I understand how they're doing it. You're signing a contract. They have collateral. See, everything is based off collateral. That's why you got to do a secure party process, because you have to collateralize all your assets to give value to your negotiable instruments. One of your assets is your labor. So that's why you're doing a set-off. You have to, where's the value being derived from? So a security on Wall Street, the value is based off the fact that we got a $90,000 vehicle. They have agreed to make payments of $1,700 a month, okay? And we're going to take that $1,700 a month and give it to you. Well, we're going to discount it. So this contract is worth $90,000. Give us $55,000. So they're going to get $55,000 for the value of the contract of receiving payments of $90,000 over what? 6 years, 7 years, or whatever the terms of the agreement was. I understand how it works. It's real simple how it works. You know, it makes sense. But everything is divided. That's why you got to understand what value is, because there's no money. So since there's no money, what is giving value to negotiable instruments is interest in things, or liens. Liens is what create money. You ain't having no creation of money without liens on property. That's why you got to do a secure party process, because you got to protect yourself from that, because everybody out in the world today is a predator looking for some way to get an interest in something, put a lien on something so they can create a negotiable instrument and go trade it, discount it and trade it for credits that they can put in their account. Very simple process. And we should be able to do it too. We should be able to play the game too, but they don't want you in that. They don't want you in their club. That's why you got to do a process also prior to doing any of this, because that's a private jurisdiction, and you got to give them notice before you come into that jurisdiction and start uttering instruments. I see everything in the secure party process why it's done. You people out there that ain't trying to subscribe to anything, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. In the commercial agreement, they have an obligation to discharge on all trade bills. So they have to give me the card. No, they don't. They don't have an obligation to do anything. The people who have an obligation to do it is the government. Show me anywhere in HCR 192, June 5th, 1933, Public Law 73-10, and all associated policies that car dealership has to discharge that. That's why I asked you, where's your processing instructions? Because the only people that's supposed to that have an obligation to do that is the government. And that's why your processing instructions should include directing them to contact the Treasury Department. I can't believe I got to go through all of this. Some of this shit should be... Did you read HCR 192, June 5th, 1933? Did you read Title 31, 5118? Rescission of the gold clause. Did you read any of that? That's had to do with the feds. That had to do with your federal government. They don't have to do nothing. You can't force nobody to do business with you. You cannot force anybody to do business with you. That's like telling me that my company has to take a bill of exchange for your monthly membership fees. No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't have to accept that. The only people that's required to accept that is the government, because they're the ones who took the gold. And they have an obligation to you. They didn't tacitly agree to do nothing. They tacitly agreed to keep that motherfucker. That's what they tacitly agreed to do. They ain't giving it back to you. I just read what you ain't getting that back. Register the asset to the postal union, not the DMV or post office. Postal union is the jurisdiction we are. Okay, let's read this thing about the postal union. Everybody likes to talk about that. Let's see where they got that from. Let's see where they got that from. Let's see where they got that from. Well, actually, I could go to, where gotta go? You go right to SBC University and go to my PDF downloads. What's happening, man? Let me change the window real quick. I see my PDF downloads, and we're going to do this dealing with presentments. And section 7. Let's read this real quick, because I hear so many people talk about the UPU. And this is where they got it from. I ain't never really, you tell me what y'all think. All right. It's part 7. It's called the... I know part 6. It's part 6. Yeah, part 6. All right, let me read this to you, because this is actually pretty good. Damn, where is it at? Oh, here it is right here. Postal power. The UPU, Universal Postal Union in Bern, Switzerland, is an extremely significant organization in today's world. It is formulated by treaty. No nation can be recognized as a nation without being an international admiralty in order to have a forum common to all nations for engaging in commerce and resolving disputes. That is why the USA, under the Articles of Confederation, could not be recognized as a country. Every state colony was sovereign with its own common law, which foreclosed other countries from interacting with the USA as a nation. Remember, all our states were separate countries themselves. And then that's why they united together. and formed a central government. Okay. Today, international admiralty is the private jurisdiction of the International Monetary Fund, among others, the creditor in the bankruptcy of essentially every government on earth. The entire world has been bankrupt. The Universal Postal Union operates under the authority of treaties with every country in the world. It is, as it were, the overlord or overseer over the common interaction of all countries in international commerce. Every nation has a postal system and also has reciprocal banking and commercial relationships whereby all within and under the UPU. The UPU is the #1 military. International Admiralty is also military contract mover on the planet. It is. Through the mail. That's why I was telling you to do a administrative process. For this reason, one should send all important legal commercial documents through the post office rather than the private carriers, which are firewalls. We want direct access to the authority and corresponding availability of remedy and recourse of the UPU. For instance, if you post through the U.S. Post Office and the U.S. Postmaster does not provide you with the remedy you request within 21 days, you can take the matter to the UPU. Involving the authority of the UPU is then automatically invoked by the use of postage stamps. Utilization of stamps, including putting stamps on any document for account purposes, not mailing. We wish to introduce into the system. And that's why you see people, there's a document on here, the significance of using, this is it right here, the significance of using stamps on banknotes. And this right here goes into the history of putting stamps, what they call them revenue stamps, on banknotes. And they're used in times when there isn't any money. When there isn't any money, but this is the history of it. Really interesting history. So I'm showing you this so you won't think that people just putting stamps on documents is some sort of patriot type mythology. No, it does have a basis in history, in custom, in banking. It has a basis in that. All right. So involving the authority of the UPU is automatically invoked by the use of postage stamps. Utilization of stamps include putting stamps on any document for clout purposes, not mailing. We wish to introduce into the system. As long as you use a stamp of any kind, you're in the game. If you have time, resources, and the luxury of dealing with something well before expiration of a given time frame, you can use stamps that you consider ideal. The most preferable stamps are ones that are both large and contain the most colors. In an emergency situation, or simply if economy is a consideration, any stamp will do. Using a postage stamp and autograph on it makes you the postmaster for that contract. Whenever you put a stamp on a document, inscribe your full name over the stamp at an angle. The color ink you use for this is a function of what color will show up best against the colors in the stamp. Ideal colors for doing this are purple, royalty, blue, origin of the bond, and gold, King's Edict. Avoid red at all costs. Obviously, if you have a dark, and they say red is operating in the red, but then I've heard red say that's the color your blood turns when it hits the oxygen. You hear all these different things, but I like you're in the red, it's a deader type thing. So I kind of like that. We're not using red. What else does it say? Ideally, one could decide on the best color for his autograph and then obtain stamps that best suit one's criteria and taste. Although a dollar stamp is best, it is a luxury unless one is well off financially. Otherwise, reserve the use of dollar stamps for crucial instruments such as travel documents. And that's when you go get your birth certificate authenticated, things like that, with an affidavit attached to it, an affidavit of identity. All right, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. All right. The rationale for using 2-cent stamps is that in the 19th century, the official postal rate for the de jure post office of the United States of America was fixed at 2 cents. And you know, we have the postal service now. We don't have the post office anymore. For stamps to carry on one's person for any kind of unexpected encounter or emergency use, this denomination might be ideal. Use stamps on important documents such as a check, travel documents, paperwork you put into court, etc. Where to put the stamp and how many stamps to use depend on the document. One foundational document in checks, for instance, put a stamp on the right-hand corner of the instrument, both on the front and on the back. The bottom right-hand corner of the face of the check, note, or bill of exchange signifies the liability. That's right, because, you know, they negotiate them. And the reason you put a stamp on the back of a check at the bottom right-hand corner, because every time they negotiate it, they sign it. Well, your signature is the last signature on the document. That is evidence that you're the holder in due course. It's giving notice that you intend for it to return back to you. I'm not going to read all of this, but this is where it came from. I read this many, many, many times. It's postal power. If you ever seen it floating around on the internet, that's where it came from. It's dealing with presentments. It's the 7th chapter of that. And I've never had to use the UPU, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why to go back to that. I thought I changed it. This is crazy. I thought I had. All right. Let me see if any questions. I gotta go make bread. I'll catch you later, bro. Much love. Okay, appreciate you. If we ask for tacit contract, they have to disclose it by law. What law? You can be a postmaster and make your own stamps too. 2 stamps, all you need. Well, the red fox stamps are the most ideal stamps. You can't buy them anymore. You had to get them off eBay. Turn your unregistered envelope into a binding contract and order them to perform. Oh, that's a troll. It's a troll on here. You can always tell by the intelligence level. It's almost like on a, almost like on a, like a toddler. You know, like, you know, I remember one time I had to substitute teach some a kindergarten class. Listen, man. Shout out to all the women that are kindergarten. Listen, let me tell you something. I have nothing but respect for women who are kindergarten teachers and 1st grade and 2nd grade and 3rd grade and all that. I know that you have a love for what you do and that you have the patience of Job, okay? You deserve to be high paid, a fair compensation. That is not an easy. I just did that shit for one day, and them children took me over. I did that for one day, man. And you know what I'm saying? That's kind of like what trolls are. Trolls are like children, you know? It's like, would you stop that? Would you please just stop that stupidity? Just, what are you talking about? It's like kids and shit, you know, on the chat. Children. But you can't get mad. They add into your analytics, making sure you get money. They have a lot. There's an upside to them too, you know. Sometimes you can get them to go tell their friends and they'll come over and like in big numbers and spend a lot of time on my message boards and, you know, keeping the video analytics rolling, you know what I'm saying? You need them for that. Don't get rid of your trolls. Understand your trolls are like I said, they like necessary bacteria. You know, you got to have them. You got to have your good bacteria and your bad bacteria. They are good bacteria, you know, if you know how to use them. Okay, so it says, it's in the DNA. It said, I registered my car with the post. I don't even know how you do that. I don't even know how that's done. I don't even know what you're talking about on that right there. I don't even know how that's done, what you talking about. North Carolina. Got 361 viewers. What? Let me ask me a question. Where we at right now? You will lose if you're not with the postal union. Find out. Okay, I'm not gonna argue that point. I'm just showing people where it came from. I agree that, you know, how you do your document sends a message. I don't have no, you know, and that is something maybe I need to get into teaching a little bit more, because a lot of people back in the day you used to do that with their core documents. I don't know how it fell off, but you know, it's like you put stamps on your court paperwork because the judges sometimes act like he don't see what's on your document, and that's why you put something on the back of it, you know, and sign it with stamps and say, see the front. Yeah, it says nowadays it's hard to tell the difference between NPCs and bots. Yeah, they got a lot of bots now too. You know, they got some bots because they own it. Listen, this communism thing. These trolls ain't nothing but communists. Trolls are like when they troll and they ain't nothing but liberals, communists, Marxists, LBGTQ, these are all the people that be trolling. I'm telling you, you ain't got no conservatives trolling, doing this shit. There ain't no conservatives doing this shit. There's no conservatives doing this, all right? The conservative mind is not desperate to displace itself. We already have a republic. We already have a free country. These people over here, they're the ones trying to convince you you're not sovereign, kind of, they the ones trying to do all that shit, trying to convince you what you're doing is ridiculous and, ain't no God and, you can kill your babies and, it's these people, there are more than two genders, identify as these motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? It's all out war. You under attack. They're everywhere. I'm doing a thing on the Communist Manifesto right now. Let me see if I can pull it up for you right now. Communist Manifesto. Let me see if I can pull this up for you. Let me see if I can pull this up for you. Yeah, okay. Let's see if we can look at this real quick. Let me put this in. Okay, to understand what is going on today, you have to where is it at? Hold on. Okay, there it is. All right, there you go. All right. You got to know this document right here. All right, you got to know this thing right here. So they got on here. All right, so you can see if you just put in private, because they don't like that word. And nobody communist, Marxist, socialist likes the word private. If in any way they got a problem with privacy, you know who you're dealing with. What are you trying to hide, brother? What do you mean private rights? That you know who you're dealing with. So they don't like private, nothing. All right? So right here you can see word 54 times. See, modern industry has converted the little workshop of the patriarchal master. Notice they're using the word patriarchal. You'll see that a lot. That's where the feminism come from, because they blame it on a patriarch type system. So the feminists, the Zionists created feminism. That's why Rabbi Finkelstein is telling you in that audience, he said, we created feminism. He said they're gonna all die old age. Ain't nobody gonna want them. He said we convinced them that raising families was bad. Now they want jobs and doing all kind. They want the bag. They having a family, which is the greatest honor a woman can bestow upon you, is giving you a child and helping you raise a family. That's the greatest honor a woman can bestow upon you. Not motherfucking getting no job and going 50-50 paying the goddamn light bill. Bitch, what's wrong with you? You think you doing something with that shit? You fucking crazy. You lost your fucking mind? I ain't never had a woman take care of me in my life. And I can count on one hand how many times one has taken me out to eat and paid for the date. I can count on one hand that shit has happened to me. I don't even understand this shit, but they talk about the patriarchy. So when you start hearing that term patriarchy, you're gonna know you're dealing with a Marxist. That's what Black Lives Matter was. They was a group of what? Lesbian women, all right? They say we are well-trained Marxists. Well-trained Marxists, that's what they call themselves. What? Let me see if I got it right here. Black Lives Matter. Can we go to the channel? BLM, well-trained Marxists. All right, unashamedly Marxist, founder of BLM. Okay, so what does that mean? Trained Marxists. This was the interview right here. So what does this mean when she's saying we're well-trained Marxists? All right, what does she mean she's a Marxist? Well, the whole Marxist philosophy, which is really communism, all right, that is their political ideology, communism. Socialism, too, they both really the same thing. Socialism and communism, both are the same thing. They both derive from the same source. So none of them try to trip you up on that shit. They try to make, there's a distinction between, they the same fucking shit. Dependency on government. The elimination of private property. And depending on, we can get into particulars, but the foundation of it is the same result. So we're talking about some well-trained Marxists. All right, well, what is that? Where is the, okay, what is this Communist Manifesto? All right. So right here, I'm gonna give you the Cliff Notes, and then I'm gonna show you. The Cliff Notes is this is the Communist Manifesto. When you see them calling themselves Marxism, all right, so Karl Marx, that means this is their God, a Jewish man, all right, which is real strange for women to talk about the matriarchy and shit like that. Now, I'm gonna tell you why the people who adhere to this are like foolish, okay? Because I didn't read this whole thing, and I'm also making a video out of it, because at parts of it, it's almost like they're talking to a seventh grader, but then there are parts that are very compelling. The argument they make for how industrialized society came about off the backs of what they call the proletariat. You got the slave, the proletariat, and the bourgeoisie. The bourgeoisie obviously being the wealthy people, the proletariat are the people that have jobs, and of course the slaves. The slaves had to come from slaves to be able to get a job, then you're working from trying to get a job into becoming a part of the bourgeoisie, okay? Which I see some credence to that. The part where their argument falls apart from is a total denial of anything spiritual. Okay, there's no spiritual science involved in anything than what they're doing. So the whole philosophy at its very foundation is some bullshit. All right. Now, when you understand the nationality of the person that's writing this, and the other ridiculous part of it is that the system that they are attacking is the system that they control. They're the ones in control of all the banking and all of this right here, these same people. So what are they doing? They're getting you to subscribe to an ideology that you're claiming they're white, and they get you involved in this white and black thing. That's a big, big mistake. All right, if you subscribe to that white, black, all right, black people have a tendency to heap everybody who is melanin recessive into one big pot. That's the worst thing a black person could do. That's the worst. That's lazy. That's being mentally lethargic. That's thinking you already got the answer. You already know what's going on. There's this guy. His name is Dante. Look, they got the protocols to learn the design on the FBI website. They got that shit blocked. Wait a minute, everybody right here. This dude, Dante Jackson, you ought to get his book. All right? Because his name was How Communist Jews Weaponize Blacks. All right? Communism comes from the Jews. They are communists. They commune together. They believe in community. They want everybody under, they're the ones that bringing in the New World Order, they want one religion, one government, all of that. That's why they're trying to tear down walls and no nationalities or nothing. They don't want any nationality for the Goyim. They want all the Goyim to mix in together, to mix in, just be like just a whole bunch of mutts and everything like that. That's what they want. All right, so, because that's how they plan on getting rid of racism. And, and then they want all the men effeminate because there won't be no uprising when you got a nation of very metrosexual, effeminate men. You know, so because an effeminate man is not a threat. A very masculine man is a threat. So first thing they did is come up with the word toxic masculinity, which I don't even see how any man could have bought into that. When you got a gay man and a damn feminist talking about toxic masculinity, you should have threw that shit in the damn toilet just by the fact you seen who was saying the shit to you. You should have threw that shit away. You know, all of this is all the same group of people. The sovereign citizen, same group of people. I've researched that. Southern Poverty Law Center, same group of people. These are the same group of people. And if you want to understand they plan, the protocols of the learned elders of Zionists when they have meetings, but their philosophy is based off of this right here, this Communist Manifesto. And if you get down here, you can see right here, a communist confession of faith. Are you a communist? Yes. What is the aim of the communists? To organize society in such a way that every member of it can develop and use all its capabilities and powers in complete freedom and without thereby infringing the basic conditions of the society. That sounded pretty innocent, didn't it? Okay. How do you wish to achieve this aim? By the elimination of private property and its replacement by community of property. The government owns the property. See, in the United States of America, the foundation of freedom is private property. The Constitution protects private property. But the only way they're going to circumvent the Constitution is making sure y'all don't have no property. So I'm already telling you, you will own nothing and you will love it. When there's no private property, there's no private rights. You don't have no rights when there's no private property. Okay. Do they understand that? They call it community property. Oh, okay. On what do you base your community of property? Firstly, on the mass productive forces and means of sustenance resulting from the development of industry, agriculture, trade, and colonization, and of the possibility inherent in machinery, chemical, and other resources of infinite extension. Secondly, on the fact that in the consciousness of feeling of every individual, there exists certain irrefutable basic principles which, being the result of the whole of historical development, require no proof. I'm waiting to see what they mean when they say that right there. There's an argument that the machines that came about replaced like the artisans and the people that had trades. And, you know, one person come through an invention and can totally eliminate all of that. Kind of like what's right now is about to happen with AI. Going to totally eliminate, you know, hundreds of thousands of jobs. So that right there, that's the private property that they're talking about. What they want is a future where if you read Brave New World by Duxus Yulee or what's the other one? 1984. All right, those two books right there, those guys I think were 33-degree Masons and they were trying to tell you something, as well as Ayn Rand and a couple of other dudes, but Adulus Euclid, I can't pronounce his name correctly, but you can look at the interview he had with the 2020 guy. Get on YouTube and look at it. Mike Wallace interview, good interview. And also the Mike Wallace interview with Ayn Rand. Ayn Rand is a Jew, but she was also a conservative and a Republican, and she was also a capitalist. She wasn't for all this shit right here, and she was an extremely intelligent woman. So go ahead and check her out too. They don't like her. They don't like Ayn Rand. They don't like any of them that kind of go against. They don't like any Jew that went against them. They don't like none of them. They call him, you know, Duxus Yulee. 1980, Orson, was it not Orson Welles? Did Orson Welles write 1984? Was it Orson Welles? I think, yeah, it was Orson Welles, wrote 1984. All right, so right here, let's go on. It says, what are such principles? For example, every individual strives to be happy. The happiness of the individual is inseparable from the happiness of all. What? It's inseparable? How do you wish to prepare the way for your community of property? By enlightening and uniting the proletariat. That's the working class, the ones who are victims. That's why their whole platform is victimization. Victimization, victim. The Democratic, we're really talking about the Democratic Party. Let me just be completely transparent here. That's where they're operating from, the Democratic Party. All right. What is the proletariat? The proletariat is that class of society which lives exclusively by its labor and not on the profit from any kind of capital. That class whose weal and woe, whose life and death therefore depend on the alternation of times of good and bad business, in a word, on the fluctuations of competition. Okay, then why? Then there have not always been proletarians. No, there have always been poor and working classes, and those who worked were almost always the poor. But there have not always been proletarians, just that competition has not always been free. How did the proletariat arise? The proletariat came into being as a result of the introduction of the machines which have been invented since the middle of the last century, and the most important of which are the steam engine, the spinning machine, and the power loom. These machines, which were very expensive and could therefore only be purchased by rich people, supplanted the workers of the time because by the use of machinery it was possible to produce commodities more quickly and cheaply than could the workers with their imperfect spinning wheels and hand looms. The machines thus delivered industry entirely into the hands of the big capitalists and rendered the workers scantily property. Okay, let me ask you a question. So when Eli Whitney made the cotton gin, that was really the reason that the slaves got freed in the South. Are you saying that he was an evil person? This is the reason and rationale that they use. Like, we're not supposed to have, I ain't gonna read all of this right here. We're not supposed to have inventions. That's what capitalism is. It's the mother of invention. Freedom is the mother of invention. You get rich by changing your mindset. The reason you're poor is because you have a poor mindset. Let me see if I can find these pillars real quick. I think it's on down here, right here. Principles of communism. Let me jump down here to was not the abolition of private property possible at an earlier time? No, every change in the social order, they talk about private property. Will the peaceful abolition of private property be possible? Will it be possible for private property to be abolished at once? These people are attacking the Constitution. They're attacking the very foundation of this country. Do you understand that? Let me see. Let me get down here. It's talking about how do communists differ from socialists? What is that? Okay, right here, religion. What would be the, look, they are just small paragraph. What would be the attitude to existing religions? All religions so far have been the expressions of historical stages of development of individual peoples or groups of peoples. But communism is a stage of historical development which makes all existing religions superfluous and brings about their disappearance. What are they telling you? They're communists. All you have to do is read this. Read this and look at what's going on. Read this, and now when you're on social media and you see all those memes about people saying religion is what enslaves you. And they might got an L after their name or a Bay or some sort of bot or say, you don't even know who this motherfucker is. You ain't never seen him before in your life. But he's popping up with a meme on there, and now they conditioning you all through social media to buy into a religion is what oppresses you. Oh, that's that white man saying. That's the foundation of morality. It's okay to have the highest body count that you want. Get divorced as many times as you want. Go ahead and divorce that woman. Go ahead and marry that divorced woman who's been divorced 3-4 times. Go ahead and marry her. You don't see what's happening? To bring in the new, you have to destroy the old. What you're looking at, what this is this is a plot to destroy the United States and to rebuild in its ashes a new world order based off of this right here, where the government owns everything and you have nothing. That's total control. I can't even understand why anyone would even want to buy into that. You know why, though? The underlying reason for it is they think they are victims. They have a victim mentality. And that is why they have to get rid of religion, because religion does not buy. Let me tell you something. Let me show y'all something. This is Mark. This is Jesus talking. He said, and Jesus answered and said unto them, have faith in God. You could easily interpret God to mean natural law. Because the word there, they use a stihos. All right. God is a German word. It's a very deceptive term. And I think it's one of the leading words that have caused so much misunderstanding in spirituality that's led to this religion where people feel like people are utilizing it to control other individuals. It's not these books that are at fault. It is the translators and the transliterators and the leaders of all of these different branches of religion, your imams, your sheikhs, all of them. They are the ones that are the problem. It's not these books. It is not these books. Not by any way is it these books. The majority of people, 90% of the population don't even read their religious texts. They don't read it. He goes on, he says, for verily I say unto you, that whosoever shall say unto this mountain, the mountain represents any problem in your life. It's anything that you seem insurmountable, a situation that you're in and you don't see no way out of it. Some type of impending disaster you thinking in your mind. Maybe if you in the hood and, you know, it's just a bill. You feel like you can't make the house note. Or you can't make they looking for your car. They trying to repossess your car. Or you ill and you got an illness. Or you just caught a charge. Or you got mountains of debt and you don't know how you're going to get out. Or your credit scores are 400. Whatever it is, it does not matter. Where you are presently does not matter. The only thing that matters is what, if you start thinking correctly, to start drawing the situational change to you. It doesn't matter what situation you're in. It can change in an instant if you just decide it to be. That is the power. But these people do not subscribe to that. They don't think that. They don't believe in spirituality. They are completely physical. They are physical beings. They are powerless. That should tell you something else. They don't have any power because anything that is completely physical is completely powerless. That is why the attack is an attack on the mind, trying to get you to buy into a certain thinking process. Because if they can control your thoughts, they can control you. And everything about them goes against nature. They want you to abort your babies. What animal on the planet wants to kill their own children? Man is the only one doing that. What animal on the planet wants to have sex with his same gender? Man is the only one doing that. They want to talk about a state of nature, raw dog nature. The state of nature is violent. Don't you ever watch motherfucking Animal Planet? Name an animal on this planet that doesn't prey on something else. All the way from the dinosaurs to sharks to lions to alligators to damn, I watched damn a Komodo dragon. A Komodo dragon, to me, a Komodo dragon is the most merciless animal that I've ever seen on planet. If you haven't, go over there and study a Komodo dragon and watch it eat a monkey or something, like kill a lamb. Go watch how merciful. The reptile don't have, is cold-blooded. That's where they got cold-blooded. They don't have no mercy. They ruled this planet at one time. Allegedly, we're a part of them because we look at our fingers, we got webs, and we start as a tadpole, a sperm cell, and then the first trimester, we look like an amphibious being. Then we go into a gray-like state before we get to human. You know, when you start thinking about all these things, they talking about nature. So at a state of nature, there is only the strong can survive. That's nature. I see it everywhere. And you're trying to teach people to be weak. Really, nature really says that weak people, they're at the highest risk of not surviving. Everything I see in nature is about the strong. So you either have a strong will or a weak will. You have a strong body or a weak body. If you have a weak body, you can make it into a strong body. If you have a weak will, you can make it into a strong will. But you have to do that. You're either growing or dying. If you don't use it, you lose it. Things atrophy. All right? This is nature. These are the laws of the universe. They're not recognizing any of that. They're not recognizing totally. That's why one of their pillars is to get rid of religion. It represents varying states of social development. Yeah, that could be true, but it really what it really is the varying states of a realization. All right. That's why as you delve deeper and deeper into spiritual science, you're awakened more and more and more. It's levels to it. The aim should be everlasting life. You're not here, if you think you're here to get a bag, to stunt on other people and work a job all your life or something like that. You think you were brought into existence to work a job for the rest of your life? You think you were brought into existence to buy a handbag or buy a car and put some rims on it or something like that? You think that's why you're here? You're not here for any of that shit. Somebody created that world for you. You got trapped up in that world. You're here for self-development. You're here to elevate yourself spiritually. You should be pursuing everlasting life, because every day should be a new experience, a new opportunity to learn. Only when you are through learning should you start contemplating dying, when there's nothing else for you to learn. Verily, for verily I say unto you, that whosoever say unto this mountain, be thou removed, whatever that big problem is, remove it, and be cast into the sea, and shall not doubt it in your heart. You cannot have doubt. Fear and doubt are the enemies. All through this book, it warns you about fear. It warns you about doubt. All in the book of Revelations. Fear and doubt are the enemies that you're contending with. Fear and doubt are your enemies. Those are the barriers to reaching godhood. Fear and doubt. Fear is false evidence appearing real. Fear is an illusion. If God made everything in the universe with love, what is there to fear? What are you afraid of? He made you the master of all things by giving you a mind. You're the master of everything. The only way that you don't know that is somebody got to trick you out of it. Somebody has to convince you that you are a victim, that you have no power, that somebody's oppressing you. Peace to the gods. All right? For verily I say unto you that whosoever shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, and shall not doubt it in his heart, but shall believe those things which he saith shall come to pass, he shall have whatsoever he saith. He said this 2 times in the Bible. Let me show you the other part he said. Where is that? He said, where was that other verse? It was the verse where he was talking about Jesus. Yeah, Matthew 17. That's it. Matthew 17. That's it. I'm trying to remember what that verse is. Matthew 17, right here. This right here. This is when he was trying to heal a little boy. This is another thing. They keep y'all away from the the Gospels, and they keep you in the books of the Gentiles. 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, Romans, Thessalonians. You know, those are the people ain't got no power. Those are the victims, them the victim books and everything. And so let's look at this. It says, what is it? What is it? Right here. Let's start at 14, and it says, and when they were come to the multitude, there came to him a certain man kneeling down to him and saying, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he's a lunatic. Something's affecting his mind. Parasites. That's what parasites do. Parasites affect your mind. That's possession. That's why everybody fasted back then, 40-day water fast. And sorely vexed, for oftentimes he falleth into the fire and oftentimes into the water. And I brought him to thy disciples, and they could not cure him. So the disciples couldn't cure him. Then Jesus answered and said to them, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I have to be with you? He's sick of them. He said, how long shall I suffer you? Bring him hither to me. He said, y'all been teaching y'all how to do this, and man, y'all still don't get it. You still don't fucking get it. Getting on my fucking nerves. I keep telling you about this. I done showed you walk on water. I done brought you out, let you walk on water too, heal people and all that kind of stuff. Got you doing the same stuff I do. He said, everything I do, you can do it even more. He even said that. The things I do, you can do more. Okay, and Jesus rebuked the devil, and he departed out of him, and the child was cured for that very hour. Then came the disciples to Jesus apart privately, and said, why could we not cast him out? And Jesus said unto them, because of your unbelief. For verily I say unto you, if you have faith as a grain of a mustard seed, and you shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall be removed, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Okay, and he said, howbeit this kind go out, but fasting and prayer. Remember I told you it was some sort of parasite. It's some sort of toxin in the body. He said this kind of, he said, they're asking him, okay, why you got to do prayer and fasting? Because water purifies the body. The body's 75% water, and prayer organizes the mind. We know that water reacts to thought. That's what that guy had messages from water that scientists in Japan told you. That's why you have holy water. Water is one of the 4 main elements. Don't sleep on water. Water is an element. There are elementals in water. So these things, they don't want you looking at it the way I'm talking about it right now. They want you to remain a victim. Oh, you ain't got no power. That bullshit right there he's talking about, don't believe that. Those devils. Those are devils, man. You're looking at devils. Look, let me show you something. If you go to Revelations 18. This is the revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. Blessed is he who readeth this book, because the time is at hand. All right, so right here it says, Revelations 18. And after these things I saw another messenger come down from the sky, having great power, and the earth was litten with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice. He was trying to warn everybody everywhere. Couldn't ignore him. Everywhere you seen him, he was talking. Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. The hateful bird and fowls were damn vultures. Eagles. An eagle kill his own young. He'll throw his own young over the side of a mountain. Better fly, die. Unclean. We don't see that in the United States. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. All the kings have fornicated with this central bank. All of these government officials have fornicated. That's what James Trafficant was saying. He's saying nothing but Congress ain't nothing but a whole hive of whores. They all sold out to Israel. That's something else I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you that in just a minute. We're going to talk about that in a minute too. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not her plagues. What are the plagues? The plagues is this poverty, this COVID, this AIDS, all of these different diseases and everything that you're seeing springing up, obesity, all of these, you're being plagued. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God have remembered her iniquities. Where do we see this word iniquity at? Back in Genesis chapter 15:13, when it says the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full, the mountain dweller. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, in the cup which she have filled with her double. Double back is going to come on them. And you know why? That's why they work so hard in getting you to do it voluntarily so it won't come back on them. Because that's the law of the universe dictates if they oppress you or do something purposely against you, that's karma that they build up. Even the reptilians know that. They identify. That's why I put that book on my PDF download right here. This right here, Body Snatchers by Susan Reed. I put that on there for you to read because she's talking about that. She ended up dead. Go investigate that woman. She ended up dead, floating face down in a lagoon in the Caribbean. And she said somebody was going to kill her. And she said, these people, they understand karma. Everything that they do to you, they got to make sure that you do it with consent. Because if they don't, then they're going to get karma. So that's why you're seeing everything is presented to you in such a way that you need that. They're creating the problem. You don't need no guns. Look at what guns are doing. You don't need to just defend yourself. Give up your guns. Give them to us. We'll defend you. Look at what the guns are doing. That's just an example. But they do it on every level. On every level. Capitalism is from God. Capitalism is your reward for thinking properly, for doing what Jesus is saying. He said, if you ask this mountain, ask and it shall be given, seek and you'll find, knock and it shall be open to you. That's your reward. That's what capitalism is. Anything capitalism, and it's a funny thing how they talk about capitalism. Money is just a medium of exchange. Money has its origin in the barter system. Okay, because whatever thing you could do, if you grew apples and this person over here grew bananas and I needed some bananas, I would bring over a container of my apples and he'd give me a container of his bananas. But as society began to grow, they had a medium of exchange to represent the commercial energy. That's why money will convert to a product, and back from a product, I can go take some money and buy a car, and then I go take the car and go sell it. It will convert back into a medium of now doing this barter system. The only thing about it is they're taxing you for allowing the use of their medium of exchange, which we don't need at all. We don't need the Federal Reserve. That is why they mad at Adolf Hitler, because he's the only person that successfully got rid of a Federal Reserve or a central bank in his country, and Germany flourished. And they were an example to the world of what would happen if you get rid of a central bank. And that is the reason that they hate Adolf Hitler. That's the reason that they hate him. That reason right there. Anybody who's attempted to get rid of a central bank, that Andrew Jackson tried to kill him, gun jam. 100 years we went without a central bank until Woodrow Wilson brought his ass in on the scene. Abraham Lincoln tried to introduce the greenbacks, killed his ass. John F. Kennedy tried to put us back on the silver standard, killed his ass. Ronald Reagan told y'all about 100% of your taxes was going to pay back the national debt and what is that? I got it on here. What is it called? When they was doing that investigation, I forgot the name of it. Y'all think of it in a minute. This is about money and banking. If you think all wars are bankers' wars, all wars are bankers' wars. All this is about business and money and who's going to control the money. Because Mayor Amschel Rothschild said it. He said, I care not who makes the laws. Give me control of the issuance and of a nation's money, and I care not who makes the laws. And that's what they're doing. These one group of people, they have a World Bank and they have a central bank in every country. They have a central bank. The Federal Reserve is just a branch bank of the World Bank. They have already, and the only countries they are at war with are the countries that have not what? Are not a part of the World Bank. And that's why there's going to be a World War III with the Muslims, because they don't charge interest and don't believe in a banking system. I think the reason why they don't have that problem is because when they found oil, they agreed to keep it in American banks and use the United States dollar as the petrodollar, which I don't see why that means anything, because all the money in the world is a fiat currency. Ain't nobody on planet Earth utilizing gold and silver. They done bankrupt everybody. All right, so you gotta understand that when you see these people out in society, what they're attacking is private property right. They're attacking the country. Private property rights is what give freedom in the United States of America. If there is no private property, there's no freedom. Do you understand what you're fighting for? I don't understand why the people who came prior to me couldn't explain this to people. These people that subscribe to that ideology, they victims. They sorry-ass motherfuckers. They failures. They quitters. They ain't been able to recover. They fell down and never stood back up. They weak-willed. They blame. Just listen to them. They don't have no accountability. Everything is somebody else's fault. The whole Communist Manifesto is based off of somebody else's fault. That's why Ayn Rand made Atlas Shrugged. Read the Communist Manifesto and then go watch Atlas Shrugged. They made a movie out of it or read her 1,000-page book. Best 1,000-page book I've ever read. I read the whole 1,000 pages. Kevin, who is John Galt? Very, very good book. That was a very good book. That is an interesting woman. And she's Jewish. They don't like her, though. They don't like her. Like they don't like Benjamin Friedman. They call him an apostate Jew. You know, the ones that go against him, they don't like him, you know. But those are the ones you want to study. Those are the ones you want to study. Thank you, Timothy Starks. Thank you, Mr. G. You can go over to my website. You do not have to be a member. And you can join. I need to put my link tree on this website. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put my link tree on here too. But these are PDF downloads, my YouTube videos. You can watch all of them. There's some very interesting things on the PDF download. You do not have to be a member to download off my website. There's a PDF download. It's free for anybody who wants to come over there and get some downloads. You can get that. All the documents I talk about on a daily basis, they're available to you right there on my website. All right? So, we're talking about communism. Let's get back to this Communist Manifesto. Well, I think let's talk about this right here. This is Dante Jackson. This is all the kind of research that you got to do. Now we're talking about Zionists now. We're not talking about all Jews. Let me just clarify that. Even though when you read Mein Kampf, Hitler talks about, that was a very interesting book in chapter 2 when he talks about when he first went into Vienna and he had never, ran into Jews. That's another question we have to ask ourselves. Why did Hitler not like the Jews? We got to get into that question, because they will give you the impression they just hated Jews, for no reason. That's why you got to go in, listen to Benjamin Friedman, who is Jewish, and he's going to tell you what really happened because he was there. He was there. And it goes back into World War I, and World War II. And that's why Hitler, the greatest story never told, is so good because it does chronicle Hitler's journey from wanting to be just an artist. That's all he wanted to be, was an artist. Until he went to Vienna. He's like from the country and he went to the big city. And then he's seeing like somebody leaving Turtle, Texas, where I'm from, and then go to New York. and you've been in the country all your life, and now you're in a big city. And, now you see all these different nationalities of people you've never seen before. And at first, it's great. Everything is great. You know how it is when you first get to a new city, you kind of got that excitement of what the future has to offer. But after you've been there for a while and everything normalizes, and then you start seeing the people there and everything for what it really is, that's what happened with him. And he noticed that they were in control of all the media. That was the first thing he saw, is they were in control of the media. Who's in control of the media today? He was seeing how the media was being utilized as a divisive thing to divide the country. In our country, divide down the middle of the day. You're going to start seeing like, damn, pornography. They were into, pornography and things like that. Who owns the pornography industry? Pornography is the reason that relationships are being destroyed, because young men, they're masturbating. That's killing themselves spiritually. That's also reducing their ability to go out and talk to young girls. They're shaking their meat 5 and 10 times a day. Also, they're being acclimated to thinking that a lot of men having a lot of different sex with women is normal. So they're normalizing promiscuity. That's being normalized with the young generation. This is the things that's happening with pornography and all of these things that are being introduced. And you got to look at, okay, where's the source of all this coming from? And when you start looking at the source, you do it and you tell me what you find. Don't believe me? You start investigating it. Tell me what you find. This is a good document. You should read this, by Dontel Jackson. People are doing their research. He gives you the history of it. He talks about this guy right here. You need to check him out. Go investigate Israel Cohen. All right? We must realize that our party's most powerful weapon is racial tension. By propounding into the consciousness of the dark races that for centuries they have been oppressed by whites, we can mold them to the program of the Communist Party. In America, we will aim for the subtle victory. While inflaming the Negro minority against the whites, we will endeavor to instill in the whites a guilt complex for their exploitation of the Negroes. We will aid the Negroes to rise in prominence in every walk of life, in the professions and in the world of sports and entertainment. With this prestige, the Negro will be able to intermarry with the whites and begin a process which we deliver America to our cause. Now, they say that they're going to deny anything that you ever say is going to be denied. But when you go and do the research right here, it says right here, he says on June 7, 1957, during the debate over the Civil Rights Act of 1957, Representative Thomas Abernathy, and he put this on the federal record, Representative Abernathy, a black man, put this on the congressional record. He said, Thomas Abernathy of Mississippi entered into the congressional record the following passage in which he quoted from the Jewish author Israel Cohen's A Radical Program for the 20th Century, 1912. Jews claim that the quote was apocryphal. The book and its author did not exist. 4 years later, on November 27, 1961, Israel Cohen's obituary will be published in London newspaper announcing the death of Israel Cohen, veteran Zionist, journalist, and author. Died here today at the age of 82. A former secretary of the World Zionist Organization, he played an important part in the development of the Zionist movement since the beginning of this century. Even today, despite the proven existence of Israel Cohen and his authorship of over 25 known published works on the Jewish Zionism, Jews still refute the existence of this article, A Radical Program for the 20th Century, and gone to great lengths to dismiss it as a fabrication and a hoax, just like the protocols of the learned elder design and anything else that you're going to come about, that you bring about, saying that they're, or trying to talk about, like Voltaire said, you know who your rulers are when you see who you can't criticize. So I'm saying all this to say, when you do the research, you're doing the research so you can look and see what's going on today. And that's what you're going to understand, that this is not new. That this is a plot, okay? This is something that has been put together. None of this stuff is happening by accident. It is being orchestrated. There's people, when you see somebody on Facebook talking about they hate religion, when you see somebody talking about a sky daddy, do you believe in a sky daddy? When you see somebody talking about a man can have administration, when you see somebody talking about LBGTQ, that you are homophobic, which nobody ever cared about. I grew up around, not a lot, wasn't a lot of homosexuals in my neighborhood, but we knew of them when I was growing up, and nobody really gave a fuck. We just said, we kind of like, that's what you do, that's your society. It's even like that in prison. In prison, everybody's not gay. You got dudes over here that like to gamble. You got dudes over here that's into the gay shit. You got dudes over here that like to work out on their body. You got another group over here, all they do is trade books and read and trying to prepare to get out of jail and trying to figure out what they're going to do when they get out. It's factions. It got this group over here, they just might play chess and cards all day and gamble and try to hustle something. It's a society. Just like out here, nobody cares if you're gay. Nobody cares. You're trying to put that in people's face, and nobody gave a damn about the gay community. I remember the first time I went to New York, I went to the Village, and they were all up in there, and it was strange to me. I'd never seen anything like it before. But I came to Atlanta, went down to Piedmont Park in 91, 92, all predominantly, that whole community back then was the gay community. Made a mistake, walked around with my shirt off one time, never made that mistake again. Have respect. Oh, this is y'all's community. I didn't know. I didn't know this was your community. So once I understood that, nobody tripped on it. That's your community. Y'all got your own bars. Y'all got your own thing y'all like to shop. Y'all restaurants y'all like to go to. I don't go in there messing with you or saying anything or nothing like that. That's your life. We don't care. So what is this agenda that it seems like you're trying to attack masculinity, and emasculate men and talk, all this thing. When you see all of this stuff right here, it all ties back to one source. It's an all-out attack on many different fronts. When you see them talking about sovereign citizen, well, what are we? We are the people who are the defenders of private property rights. You see right here that their whole platform is the attack of private property. So now I can go and look at the Southern Poverty Law Center. Let's see if I can do it right here in front of you. Who created it? Morris Dees, Joe Levin, and Julian Bond. Okay, is that it? Southern Poverty Law Center. Let's see. By the late 1960s, let me see what the name. I'm looking for the names. Alabama lawyer Morris Dees. And who is these other guys? Joe Levin. Let me put his name in here. Levin family, Raw Jew Archives, Joseph Levin of the Growth of Intolerance and Hatred, all of this stuff right here. So you see what pop up, Levin family, it's of Jewish descent, okay? When you go, that's how I do everybody. I pull up their name, and then I go and start doing research on the person's history, and then I find out that they have a Jewish background. So when you go in there, you see that that a lot of the people who are creating these organizations, all your liberal colleges, all the professors in there, all that, they went and got your kids. They're attacking your kids. So they're indoctrinating them. That's why they're coming out talking about, you one of those binaries, and you can identify as something that you're not, and all this foolishness that's going on. It's a political ideology, but the person knows what they're doing is crazy, but they know it's a part of their tactic to demolish. They are attacking you. So when you're on Facebook and the feminists start attacking you, there's method behind the madness. It don't have nothing to do really with women's rights or anything like that. It has something to do with the destruction of the current edifice that freedom is resting on and the erection of a new world order. I don't even know if these people are extraterrestrial or not. They could be an alien race. I don't know. I don't know who they are. That's why I was into this dude, David, whatever his name is. He's talking about a lot of these people are actually reptilians. And he's talking about how they can go in through the eye and take over a person by getting into their nervous system. He gives a description on how they do it behind the scenes. And you can see people on the internet saying this shit. And I need to do a video and really show y'all some things so y'all trip out. But you got to start opening your eyes and seeing all of this stuff that's happening today. It is all orchestrated. All of it is orchestrated. And what they're attacking is private property. No more privacy. And once they get that, you are completely under their control. You're not going to have no privacy in your money. That's what the cryptocurrency and all that's about. No more private transactions. They're telling you that you will own nothing and love it. You will own nothing. You will own nothing and be happy. World Economic Forum. Is it evil? Is the World Economic Forum, you will own nothing and be happy? I bet you they say something. The Great Reset Initiative is an economic recovery plan drawn up by the World Economic, where is they saying? And then when you go and look, I haven't done it yet, but you go and look at the architects of that and see what their nationality is. Go look at the nationality of the president of Ukraine, and then you go over here and then you see, let me show y'all this, man. Cause y'all gonna find out today. Okay, you see this right here? I want you to go with my bid shoot.
Victoria Nolan, Secretary.
This dude right here lists everybody in our government right now, what their nationality is and how all of them have dual citizenship with Israel. Now you can understand why we gave $300 billion to Ukraine. Now you can see why we send all this money over. Now you can see why so much of our money is leaving the United States of America and going to foreign countries, and almost none of it is going to fix the infrastructure here in the United States of America. Now you can understand when Donald Trump, what he says, make America great again, what he's talking about, because all the industry has been siphoned out of this country and taken somewhere else because they own most of the industry. They own most of the industry. They own almost all of it. 70, 80% of it. They took it somewhere else. This is what's going on and you're not paying attention. They got y'all caught up in some bullshit. You need to watch this video right now. They won't let me put it on YouTube. But it's a white boy. He's just sitting up there. He just naming them all. He's just going down the list, just naming them. He said this person, one of them is do you know we got a 4-star general that is a transvestite? Did y'all even know that? Did y'all know one of our 4-star generals is a transgender? Did you know that? Let me see if I can pull them up. Four-star transgender general, Rachel Levine, right here. This is what we got in our country right now. They making a mockery of the United States of America. They mean you ready to get taken over like your country ran by bitch motherfuckers. Y'all got a whole bunch of bitches in the United States of America. That's what we look like over here. You men acting like straight hoes. These people sit up and talk and say something, you afraid to say something. You'll never let nobody attack your masculinity. You niggas is acting like bitches. I can see it. I get on a fucking, on Facebook and get into a conversation. I'm the only motherfucker talking. Because 90% of the man fucking nuts fell out their nutsack. We're the only country like, this is a Jewish individual too. Our sheriff is a woman. The mayor's a woman. They taking over all the positions. They giving all the positions of power to women. Women, you ain't paying attention to what's going on, nigga. You cool with that? I know some of you are, because they didn't got your fucking mind so fucked up. You think the woman is your God, nigga. You worship pussy that fucking much. Because you can't get none. Because don't no nigga that been getting pussy all his life worship pussy like that. And it is ridiculous how these men throw themselves at these Instagram models on Instagram. It is pathetic what is going on with OnlyFans. These men are paying these women ridiculous amount of money just so they can show their pussy, just so they can be in the presence of a beautiful woman. Listen, man, the reason you can't get a beautiful woman is because you ain't earned it, okay? You ain't elevated yourself. The reason you can't have you don't deserve a family if you can't take care of one. You don't deserve a beautiful woman if you ain't got in the gym, if you ain't got your money together and do the things that you want. That's what life is all about. Survival of the fittest. Y'all see this? Y'all looking at this? This is one. He goes down a whole list. Your Secretary of the Treasury, your Secretary of the Treasury, your Attorney General, the head of the CDC, the head of the ATF. You just start going down the list. You just start going down the list. And, you know, I'm like, okay, now I see. Okay, I see why. Now I see why there's such a shift in the country toward communism, because most of the ones, that's why Trump is saying communists. Y'all be looking at Trump like he crazy. Trump know what he talking about. Trump knows what he talking. You don't understand because you ain't doing what I'm doing right now. You ain't read the Communist Manifesto. You don't know that there's an attack on private property. Hell, most of you don't even know private property is the only reason you got goddamn freedom. Most of you don't give a fuck about being free because you don't feel like you was ever free, no way, because you ain't never had shit. You grew up poor. Nigga, I grew up in a single parent household in Oak Cliff, okay? Been to prison. All this shit, what is you talking about? Anyone can make it in the United States of America. I have a friend, he's a white guy. He's a friend of mine. He is a real estate developer. This nigga didn't get past the 8th grade. He got way more money than me. He throw around money like it ain't nothing. And he didn't get, and you know what he did though? Because in the 8th grade, he figured out how to build a house. That's all he studied. How to build a house. Him and his brothers. A trade. And he's a multi-millionaire. He does real estate development. That's all you need. You don't need no goddamn college education. College degrees came about in the 1970s when they said, and they started all that, because we used to have trade schools in high school. Okay, they took all of those out and started telling you needed to get a college degree. And then they start requiring degrees at jobs. And then you go work. I go work the fucking job. And I'm like, why does this fucking job require a college degree? There's nothing about this job that I couldn't teach a goddamn monkey to do. And they want me to have a college degree. And then 70-80% of you are working some type of job you didn't even get a degree in. You didn't even get a degree in. They making, now you got college debt, $100,000, $200,000. You went to school 4 years, you paying off that debt, and the dude that got out in the 8th grade, he's a millionaire. By the time you throw that damn cap up in the air, he already made his first million. Capitalism, he said, why do I say capitalism is from God? Because whatever you think you become, God made laws. And one of the laws is the law of attraction. That's what capitalism represents. Capitalism represents, you become wealthy proportionate to how much you have of a wealth consciousness. That's why you asking me that question, because there's no spirituality attached. I just got through reading goddamn Mark 11, 22 to 26, and then Matthew chapter 17. You wasn't here when I was reading all that, explaining to you why capitalism comes from God. The creator of the boundless universe bestows wealth on you, not no fucking man. It's a result of your efforts. But you don't want to believe none of that. Every wealthy person I have talked to studies the law of attraction. We tell you this shit, you don't believe it. They say over and over and over, it's in the Bible, it's in every motherfucking religious text on planet Earth, written in some kind of way, but you just don't believe it. You rather say, fuck that religious shit, ain't no God. These are them right here. Let me show you who they are. Let me show you who they are again. That's your 4-star general now. That's your 4-star general. No. No, I think, is that the 4-star general? Yeah, right here. Yep. I don't want to laugh because I still want to show them respect for the position that they have. They still are entitled to respect because undoubtedly they earn that position based off the merit of their expertise. I don't doubt that for 1 second. However, I'm sure there are other individuals just as qualified. And what type of message does this send to other countries in the world? See, promiscuity and all of this stuff proliferates in a country that's ruled by weak men. The United States is ruled by weak men. This is why they were afraid when they're drained into the swamp, because a lot of them are going to be revealed as pedophiles and all that kind of stuff right there. You know, the Epstein Island and all of that. We're being governed by weak men, by debased individuals, by sellouts. That's what the United States of America is being run by right now. And they all subscribe to this ideology because the masters that they have sold out to want them doing that, because they want a degenerate society. Because like it says in Leviticus 25:45, you can make, let me read it to you. Let me read it to you again. Right here, Leviticus 25:45. Okay, let's start at, right here, 45. Now let's start at 43. Where I'm gonna start? Right here. He's talking to this is God talking to the children of Israel after he's brought them out of Egypt. And he says, both thy bondman and thy bondmaids. We know what a bondman is, a debtor. That's their way of saying debtors. Indentured servant. Debtors. Both thy bondmen, we $31 trillion in debt. They gave everybody a social security number. Your social security number is evidence that you're a debtor. That you're a bondmaid or a bondman. Don't matter how much money you think you got. Both thy bondmen and bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be the heathen that are around about you. A heathen is a person who don't believe in God. What is one of the pillars of Karl Marx's Communist Manifesto? To get rid of religion, to get rid of God. And these people right here, the same person who is a Jew, who subscribes to the Torah, right in there tells you that person, once you can convince him to get rid of God, you can turn his ass into a slave. You look like a goddamn fool subscribing to communism or socialism. You look like a pure idiot. That's like a Satanist that worships Satan. You think Satan loves you, dumbass nigga? You call yourself a Satanist as if Satan loves humans. But you're a follower. Do you see how these people think? These people, they have some sort of, these people are crazy, man. You got to read all of this stuff. You can tell I've been researching this for a very long time, putting all these pieces together. You got to have some religious knowledge. You got to have some historical knowledge. You got to have some legal and lawful knowledge to put all this shit together to see what's going on. You got to read documents. You know, you got to look through the bullshit. You know, that's some bullshit. You read the protocols. Why did the FBI tweet out? Why did the FBI tweet out? Somebody there knows something. FBI shared anti-Semitic protocols on Twitter. On August 9th, this is 2020, this is right at the beginning of COVID. On August 19th, one of the FBI's official Twitter handles, the FBI Records Vault, disseminated a link labeled Protocols of the Laird Elders of Zion. There's been widespread confusion about the FBI's motives for doing this and concern that in doing so, the FBI is spreading an anti-Semitic text. The Protocols is a notorious anti-Semitic forgery created at the turn of the 20th century by the Tsarist secret police and described as an alleged secret plan of Jewish leaders to attain world domination and power. That means you need to go read it. That means you need to go read it and see what the fuck it's saying and get the one from, don't get no other copy, but right here from the FBI vault. Get theirs right here. This is the best one on the internet, straight off the FBI website, and you get some good information off of it right here. Get it right off their website. FBI. Hey, somebody tweeted it out. Somebody in government wanted you to read it. I read it and everything's in there. It's happening. I read it. I mean, if it's a forgery, okay, but is it a coincidence that everything in it is happening? Everything is happening. So it could be a forgery, or whatever, but everything in it is happening today. I went and read Me and Cop. Everything he was talking about is happening today. It's like I just started read, that's all I'm saying. I just read it. Everything's happening. I'm giving you the stuff you can go read. You have to use your own intelligence. And then you ask yourself the question, are you a heathen? Because it don't matter what you believe in. These people have been told that they can make heathens into slaves. All right? So they run the world right now. I'm gonna go. It's not that they're gonna take over the world. They already run the world. They own all of the banking system. They the majority of billionaires on the planet. They leaders in almost every country on planet Earth. There are American Jews. There are Russian Jews, French Jews, Ukrainian Jews. All that. Don't let that name fool you. France, England, and all that in every country. Okay, so and they all and almost in every country they run the industry. So I don't know what, and it's gonna come across. I know this is gonna come. They say, "Oh, he's talking that anti-Semitic stuff." That's not what this is about. This is about the United States of America and whether anybody's trying to take us over as the communists. Do you remember when Langston Hughes? They throw him on us, right? Langston Hughes. Communists. Nonetheless, Langston Hughes lived a zealous life and traveled, a poet and an activist and an artist. His communist politics developed from his early years in Cleveland to the USSR to Spain and everywhere in between. So you got high schools named after this dude. I wonder who named the high school. It would be very interesting to see who provided the money for the high school. And okay, and they pump him up, Langston Hughes. Have you stopped to think, who are these people giving us our black leaders? They're all Democrats. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know, because, I know none of y'all know what Marxism is. You got to start there. You got to start there. And you can't study Marxism. When you study Marxism, you got to make a decision if you're going to subscribe to that ideology or you're going to leave your religion, because they don't go hand in hand, because the people have already told you that Marxism, communism is the elimination of your religion. This is the political ideology of the New World Order, because in the New World Order, there's only going to be one religion. Can we all guess which religion it's going to be? There's only going to be one religion in the new. They're going to get rid of all religion. The man just told you that in the Communist Manifesto as one of the principles of Marxism. I'm not making this shit up. I'm reading you this shit straight out their documents. They sitting there telling you what it is. What the fuck is wrong with you? You don't see everything that's going on? I don't understand it. I don't understand what else I got to do. I don't understand what else I got to do. I don't understand. All parties are on the same team in the media. All of them, because they own all the media. What you talking about? Particularly seeing, what is this right here? Let me show you something. It's Jim Acosta and Trump. This man right here just
Before Course Hero, I spent hours looking for help online when I was stuck on homework or studying.
It was not an invasion. It's a...
Jim Acosta Jewish. All the reporters that was asking him questions are Jewish. Trump ain't Jewish. He's a white man. All right. Kayleigh McKinney. Every time you see her,
there will be several White House.
Every time you see her come to the podium, she got her cross on. Oh, they don't like Kayleigh McKinney. Every time she at that podium, she got her cross on. This the undercurrents of what's going on. What about this chick right here? Confirmation. What's her name? Right here. Corning. Right here, when they was asking her about her religion, Amy Coney Barrett, with Dianne Feinstein. Y'all go back and watch this right here. Go back and watch this. Go back and watch this confirmation hearing. Amy Coney Barrett.
Christine, on date.
I want you to go. See how they question her about her Catholic faith? And Dianne Feinstein. All right, this is when Feinstein was pressing her with questions about her religion and everything. Y'all remember that? Feinstein's Jewish, you know. You ain't paying attention to none of this that's going on, because you didn't say these just all white people that are arguing with each other. Now, if y'all are Jewish and you're a white man watching this, I really don't have a dog in this fight, really. And so I don't have no reason to hate nobody. So please don't put no anti-Semitic remarks on me or that I'm a hater. I was born in the United States of America. I remember how I grew up. It might not be in the most perfect country, but I have a lot of good memories about growing up and a lot of things that happened, you know, and then struggling to make a way for myself. I think that was, when I look back on that, I kind of enjoyed it. I'm like, man, I made it. It's a satisfaction in knowing that you can overcome the odds and then make it. You know what I'm saying? Especially as a man. But you know as well as I know that Jews and white people ain't the same. Let me show you something else. There's this the white man's Bible. This dude is a white supremacist. This dude here is a white fucking supremacist. He is a white supremacist. White Man's Bible by Classen. You can watch some videos of him on BitChute too. So let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Let me see if I can find it. This is an interesting book. All right. Is that the PDF right here? All right, it's the White Man's Bible. Let me see if I can pull up. You see this book right here. I read this book right here because I always like to. I'm that kind of person, you know. I say because they were talking about white supremacy. Now, if you want to understand white supremacy, there is no book I think that can top this book right here. I don't think there's any book that can top this book right here. If you really just one of those people that believe that you are under white supremacy and that you are being oppressed by the white man, then why not read their Bible? So you can understand white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? So let's look at this. Ben Klassen, which was really interesting to me. His first name was Ben. I just thought that was interesting because that's usually an indicator that, you know, because they all have their names straight out the Bible, you know. So if you get in here, you can see, okay, the magnificent white race, the white man's criminal negligence in protecting the survival of his own kind, protecting our gene pool, creativity, and eugenics. Who needs niggas? Or elimination of the Black Plague. Where is it at? World jury declared on war on Germany. Let's see what I see. Right here. The Jewish program for the mongrelization of the white race. They feel like that they want mixing. That's why the wall and everything was down. They bringing in all these foreigners. They want people mixing with each other. That was the real reason they bringing in Henry Ford. You know, he wrote the International Jew. They don't like him. Henry Ford spent half his fortune trying to warn people about what was coming on. They call him anti-Semitic. He the one that made your Ford automobile. He got a book called The International Jew. This is it right here. And once again, we talk about Zionism. So you can see they call it anti-Semitic, you know. Henry Ford, his book, The International Jew, The World's Foremost Problem. And of course, they're gonna label it anti-Semitic. You know, I can understand why. Let me go right here to Christian hoax. I just want you to read this, who their enemy is. This is what I want you to see right here. And it's got some good stuff in there because he talk about fasting. He telling his people how to take care of themselves and a lot of things like that. There was some science in it too, you know. And I'm gonna be honest with you. The white race, you know, they got a point in not wanting to mix because if they do mix, they do lose their purity. Everybody knows that. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, I interviewed her. I need to post the interview, and she said that. In the interview, she said that the biggest concern of her peers who told her in confidence, the biggest worry that they had was genetic annihilation and mixing with other races of people. And I don't think that's anything wrong with that. If they want to preserve the purity of their race, don't they have that right to do that? I don't think that that's anything. I don't think that that's anything racist or anything like that. I don't like some of the things he's saying about some other people. He said we have the genes protecting. They do think that they superior to everybody. Let me just put that. Where he put it? He said our enemy. All right, go right here. Jews are mortal enemy. Jews are mortal enemy. Working towards the niggerization of America is the Jewish race. Pushing, clawing, propagandizing with a fury unparalleled in history, the Jews are working toward their ultimate historic goal, total enslavement of all the races of the world and every Jew a king. Why do they want to reduce the white man down to mongrelized moron in order to rule the world? The question almost answers itself. Morons are easier to control than an intelligent, aggressive, and belligerent opposition, such as the white race has always been. Whereas the Jews are pushing for the niggerization of America and the mongrelization of the white race throughout the world as a whole, their program, of course, does not include the mongrelization of the Jews, which is true. You don't see them doing that in their communities. Go into a Jewish community and see if they mixing, if they race mixing. Everything they're telling you to do, they're not doing, even over in Israel. And The next thing what's really interesting about all of this is that because they are very concerned about the protection of their bloodline, probably more so than any other race on planet Earth. So what he's saying right here is absolutely true. Now that gives a different viewpoint of the wall that Trump was trying to build. You're trying, and then why? You're asking yourself, why are they letting all these aliens into our country? Undocumented aliens, who obviously all of them ain't gonna never leave. You can try to round up as many as you can, but you ain't gonna get all these people that came over to the border. Why? Because they making this great melting pot and they are not involved in it. Y'all remember this right here, this Time Magazine article? Time Magazine. Where was it? It was Time Magazine. See, right, they did this right here. The New Face of America. Y'all remember this? This is a Jewish publication, Time Magazine. They own it. So the good look of this woman, she was created by a computer from a mix of several races. What you see is a remarkable preview. All right, this is the answer so that there won't be any more racism so they'd already been contemplating this and trying to get this kicked off. This is why you see on your movies and television, you see a white and a black man all the time right now, or a white man and a black woman all the time on your commercials and everything like that in your movies and everything. They acclimating you to this acceptance that, hey, let's mix together. Let's have mixed babies. And this is the goal that they're going toward. Now, black people, we really don't take issue with this because, black people, just the superior gene of black people is going to always come back black. You take two light-skinned people, a black baby will still come out. But the white people are the ones that are concerned with this. We ain't never really been concerned with this. We kind of like, our people, we a mixture in it. We have different shades and colors, and to us, they're all beautiful. They're all beautiful. We accept everybody that comes in. You got a drop of black blood in you. Welcome, black brother. That's how we are. But you see what I'm saying? Hold on, let me see. Oh, y'all can't see what I'm talking about. Oh, yes, you can. You can see it. Yeah, you can see it. Okay. So I'm giving y'all some tools for y'all to just do your own research. I believe that we are at a crossroads in time where the fundamental freedoms of the United States of America are at stake. That is with the private property. They trying to get rid of, they trying to go read the Communist Manifesto. And then after you read the Communist Manifesto, go on the internet and just look and see who people are making certain kind of posts. And start to see, and it's not that they don't understand. When they say that a man can have administration, they know they're saying something crazy. But this is a part of a plot they're trying to put out, and the weak-minded people get them to buy into this belief. It is an organized plot. And they got people from all races in it. Don't sleep. It ain't just one race of people. They got black people in it. You got women who hate men. You got some black women that hate men. They hate black and white women. Don't just say black men. You got black and white women that hate men, and they will do anything if they can exact some sort of torture or punishment on a man. Control a man in some kind of way or anything like that. And that is what that political platform offers them an opportunity to do. So all I'm saying is pay attention. Don't believe nothing I'm saying. I'm a crazy man. Y'all know people going to call me anti-Semitic and all kind of stuff, but the proof is right in front of your eyes, and I can keep going. I'm not, this stuff I'm showing you ain't even, this just stuff just coming off the top of my head. I ain't sat down and just really thoroughly put together a video and show you all the stuff that I have. And you would be amazed at it. But I am telling you where to conduct your own research. Start with that Communist Manifesto. Understand what do we got anybody in the chat that is a communist that wants to dispute what I'm saying about y'all's intentions? Speak now. I'll give you an opportunity. You want to refute what I'm saying? That you look on Amazon, almost everything on Netflix is a woman in control of something whooping a nigga ass. Everything, and they control the media. They put in everything. You got thought hop now. Look what they doing to your women. Thought hop. Look at what they doing to your women. And did y'all see this right here? Did y'all see this? You already go and watch this video, man. You gotta watch this video right here, man. This chick right here, she's a rapper. She's one of these thought hot rappers that they like. You watch this video. This when she first got signed. She was telling everybody she sold her soul, and a lot of them they don't really want to make the music that they making. She don't want to be talking about getting her ass ate all in England, making a damn fool out of herself. And then your young women are emulating this as if this is the thing to do. And then you got 25 million people saying, I like what she's doing. I like the fact that, look, this her right here. She signed a bad record deal. I signed a bad record deal. And then they start going into, I just put her name and everything now. They doing all kind of stuff. They got her, this sexy red chick. I didn't think it could get any worse. This her right here over in England talking about she ready to get her ass ate and all this kind of stuff. This is the things who are the people that's greenlighting this? Why aren't you asking that question? Who is allowing this filthy music to be, this the music we want? Who is the dude? He was on. What was it on? He was on the morning show. Was it Lior Cohen? What was that? Right here. Go watch this interview. This is Lior Cohen, Jewish. He is the individual that is over rap. And granted, a lot of Jews contributed to rap. Beastie Boys were Jewish. They were fantastic. They one of the first people to go platinum. And that was and what's his name? Rick Rubin. I think he's Jewish. His guys, they contributed to rap. So no kind of way I'm trying to like down them for their nationality or anything. But this particular man right here, these CEOs and execs, okay, they asked him a question, why are you putting out all this bad music? And he said, I have to make some money. Did y'all watch this interview and see what this man is telling you? Did you watch this interview and see what this man is telling you? Oh, hold on, let me put it.
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money on Amazon is not.
Be
short.
In this video right here, they asked him a question. Why are our children being subjected to this music? Why are women being over-sexualized? Is there something that, let me give you a secret about, you've heard about this thing called NoFap, right? You heard about this thing called NoFap. I'm gonna give you something, all right? No fap means no fondling and petting. That's what fap means. Don't fondle and pet yourself. You know, don't masturbate. All right. So when I started studying it, I got this book. It's called, this for all the men. This all the men. All right, this book is called Anytime You Want, As Long as You Want. All right, this book is a badass book. Okay, the Dr. Charles Runnels is the author of the book, and this book is about integrative sex transmutation. You also saw that in Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. He has an entire chapter devoted to it. I believe it's chapter 10. It's devoted to sexual transmutation. This is one of the key elements that is missing from the law of attraction for men, because we are the protectors and providers in the acquisition of wealth. This is also when you see in Proverbs 31:3, Proverbs 31:3, where it says what? Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroy kings. It's not talking about don't deal with women. It's talking about giving sperm. Strength is always equated with sperm in scripture. It's talking about don't masturbate, don't do all these things. See what I'm talking about when you understand how to look at the Bible, how things become clear to you? When you see what they didn't talk, how we did, they didn't use the same terminology that we used. This right here is telling you don't masturbate. Don't masturbate. There's a power in retaining semen. There's a power. All wealthy men know this. All wealthy men know this. As in semen retention. And so what is being discussed in this book, Integrated Sex Transmutation, he gets into a discussion of all of that and all the different people in history and their writings like Leonardo da Vinci, Benjamin Franklin, Ralph Waldo Emerson, just a lot of different individuals. Steve Jobs, he engaged in it. Hell, 50 Cent, Mike Tyson. A lot of people know about it. So is that a reason why you're being inundated with pornography to keep you masturbating? And these people got a law against masturbating, and so 70% of them are all the billionaires? I can tell you for a fact, the more you retain your semen, the more intelligence you have. He talks about that. That's how you reach the level of genius. What did he say right here? It's in the title. He says strength, genius, libido, and erection. See, experiment with yourself. Don't believe it. Experiment with yourself. I got 442 likes. 5 new people have joined. You should hit the subscribe button because I'm like this all the time. You don't want to miss the stuff that I got coming. You don't want to miss it. So it'd be very prudent of you to subscribe right now, okay? I don't know if this video is going to be up. I'm going to keep this video up. I'm going to download it and I'll probably chop it up because it's a long video and I'm going to chop it up. So don't look for it to be up. I'm going to download it and chop it up and get all the best parts and edit it real nice. And all the salient points that I want to make, I'll put that up. But right now, I hope you're taking notes. And I hope you're willing to do your own investigation and don't believe anything I'm saying. Don't believe what I'm saying. You're looking at communists, socialists, Marxists that have taken over your government. I'm not just saying that. That comes from years of study It's been going on for a long time. It's not nothing new. A lot of other people know it too. I'm not the only one. I'm not trying to say I'm the one that just had this epiphany and I discovered it. It's a lot of other people who understand this and see what's going on as well. They can't talk about it because they're going to get labeled something as some sort of anti-Semitic or you hate people or, something like that. They're going to put a label on them. So it prevents them from talking about it in the public. But this is what's going on. And you're seeing right now it's being accelerated at this point right now because they feel like they got you at a point of capitulation, and I'm inclined to agree with them. They got you weak between the legs. You don't have no sperm in your nutsack and wondering why you can't make no money because that's a key elixir to making money. Also, why you don't want to talk to no woman. Let me tell you something. Let sperm accumulate in your body about 2 weeks and then go out to a bar and see how the women react to you and how you react to the women and see if you shy then. See if you shy to talk to a woman and you got this urge to give one of them all the sperm that's in your body. See how nervous or bashful or you're going to be then. I guarantee it won't even exist. Thank you. Scripture is not about religion. These religious people are getting and interpreting it for you. That's why you don't like it. The Bible don't say nothing that don't no other book. There's plenty of books all over planet Earth got the same principles in it. It's just the Bible puts it in an allegorical format for you. Not too different from Aesop's fables. But it teaches a principle. It teaches a life lesson. It's teaching you something. That's what you're supposed to be deriving from it, not getting into worshiping motherfuckers. That's why Jesus was calling you a God. He said in John 10:34, he said, is it not written in your law, say you are gods? If you call them gods whom the word of God came, the scripture came and not be broken. He said again in another place, he said, all the things I do, you can do greater. He said, don't call me good. No one is good but God. But some of y'all want to make Jesus into God. Even though he was praying to God, if it be possible, let this cup pass before me when he was in the garden of, Gethsemane or whatever the name of that garden was. He was praying, he was praying, sweating blood. That's a real interesting story. You read the story, and the story in John reads different from the other stories. The story in John, they were scared of him when they approached him. Something happened when they came to arrest him, and all the other stories, they came to arrest him. But when they came to arrest him in John, they fell on their face and started worshiping him. Jesus could transfigure himself. And then the only person they couldn't find was Judas. But in Matthew, it says Judas hung himself. And then Acts, it says Judas threw himself off of a cliff. Let's look at that real quick. How did Judas die? What was it? Acts. And this is another thing that you're going to see. That everything now that you're searching for, and when you do the Google result, they got the communist and Marxist way of thinking controlling everything on Google too. Look at the people who own Google. I don't have to say no more. What was that? Right here in John, he said, now this man, this is in Acts chapter 1:18. Now this man purchased the field with the reward of iniquity, and falling headlong, he burst asunder the midst, and all his bowels gushed out. That's in Acts, started 17, Acts 17 through 18. No, it's Acts 1:17 through 18. My bad. For he was numbered, okay, it started 16. You read this, started with 16. Men and brethren, this scripture must needs have been fulfilled. Hold on, let me show this to you. I want y'all to see this. It said, men and brethren, this scripture must needs and have been fulfilled, which the Holy Ghost by the mouth of David spake before concerning Judas, which was a guide to them that took Jesus. Because, he betrayed Jesus and brought him to him. But he was numbered with us. He was one of the 12 and had obtained part of this ministry. Now this man purchased a field with the reward of iniquity, and falling headlong, he burst asunder in the midst, and all his bowels gushed out. I told my mom about this. She said he hung himself over a cliff and the rope broke and he fell. Because, in Acts, what is it, Matthew 27? Early in the morning, all the chief priests and the elders of the people made their plans how to have Jesus executed. So they bound him, led him away, and handed him over to Pilate the governor. When Judas, who had betrayed him, saw that Jesus was condemned, he was seized with remorse and returned the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and the elders. I have sinned, he said, for I have betrayed innocent blood. What is that to us? They replied, that's your responsibility. So Judas threw the money into the temple and left. Then he went away and hanged himself. So which one is it? And there's more. I don't speak too quickly. I could tear this book apart. But you know what? I understand how it's broken down. That don't mean with all the stuff, the problems I know that's wrong with it, you don't see me throwing it away. I could probably give you a list of 100 different contradictions in the Bible, changes that have been made and everything. But that don't mean I'm going to throw it away. You know why? Because I read the Kabbalion. I understand the principles. I understand now what I'm looking at. I look at it with different eyes now. I don't look at the eyes that they trained me to look at it with. See, they trained you to look at this book with a certain set of eyes. You need to get rid of that. You need to be reborn again. You have to unlearn what you have learned. Just like Jesus said. He said you have to become as little children. A little child is not fucked up with his own personal beliefs. He's open to learn. Because everything you've been told has been a lie. You are your father, the devil. He was a liar in the beginning and abode not in the truth. I'm just saying. Read this book about integrated sex by Dr. Charles Runnels. Great. All right, a lot of people stayed on, man. We got almost 600 people on here today. I must be saying something, y'all. It'd be nice y'all all gave me $5. Y'all think everybody in there can give me $5? Hey, the capitalist in me got to come out, Could I get $5 from everybody, please? The capitalist gonna come out. It's gonna creep his way on out. Damn, if everybody just gave me $1, I'd be cool. $572. I'd be cool with that. I'd be cool like crazy. I guarantee you, every content creator, if he had this many people in the chat, if everybody just gave him $1, he'd be cool. He said, man, if y'all just give me $1, he'd come on every day, like clockwork. Because $500 a day, that's $500 a day is almost, what's that, $80,000 a year? That's what you need to do. You need to break down how much money you make a year and divide it by 356 so you can figure out how much money a day you need to make to quit your job. $182,000. $182,000 a year, $500 a day. $182,000 a year, $500 a day. That ain't bad. That's not bad. You can make that easy on, man, let me tell you something. You can make that easy on YouTube. Get your YouTube channel. You don't even have to have 100,000 followers. To make that money right there, you could do it, I say, if you get up to about 30,000 followers and you come on at the same time every day, I guarantee you can make $500 a day. Or just off YouTube. Just off YouTube. You don't have to do nothing else. I don't understand why most of y'all ain't doing that. If you got some expertise, why you don't have a YouTube channel talking about it? Why you haven't monetized your knowledge? I'm just saying. Thank you, Hex Amigo. Is there any relevance in the Pistis Sophia? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Pistis Sophia. What is that? I don't know what that is. What is the Pistis Sophia? Pistis Sophia. Gnostic text. I don't know about the Gnostics. Collection of religious ideas systems that coalesced in the 1st century AD among Jewish and early Christian sects. These various groups emphasize personal spiritual knowledge above the proto. I can get with that. Possibly written between the 3rd and 4th centuries. The existing manuscript, which some scholars place in the late 4th century, relates one Gnostic group's teaching of the transfigured Jesus to the assembled disciples. Yep. So you heard the story. Okay. Yep. I didn't know that's what it was called. So yeah, exactly. Because when you read in the story, when you read all the Gospels read differently than John. John is the only one that didn't die a gruesome death. And also the book of John was written in the year 98. Matthew was written in around 47. Mark was written in 63, and Luke was written in 54. Luke wasn't a disciple. He was a physician and the sidekick of Paul. That's why he wrote Luke and Acts. The only one that you can really give a lot of credence to is the book of John, because Jesus, that was his favorite disciple, and he gave the book of Revelations to him. And in the book of Revelations, he told him to write another book, and that was the book of John. I think Revelations came like in 96, and I think the book of John was 98. Don't quote me on that, but I think I'm pretty close on it. So that's 98 years after Jesus ascended, 47 years after he ascended, 63 years after he ascended, and 54 years after he ascended. That's when those Gospels were written. And there were more than 4. Those are the 4 they selected to put into the Bible. So I appreciate Michael Alexander. Love you, brother. You cooking tonight. Peace to the gods. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Mr. G. Candelario, I appreciate that. You deserve the donations, Noble. Peace. I appreciate that. Francisco Estrada, I appreciate that. Enjoyed the lesson. I appreciate that. $2. I appreciate that. Oh, my God. I'm happy. You see how just a little bit makes me happy. Y'all be thinking, oh, he want to try to make all this money. Man, I'll be excited. I get, some money. Look at, you can see right here, I got $235. Yeah, like that. $235. Don't get mad, but I'm happy about that. I hope y'all enjoyed this tonight. What time is it? Damn, it's 10:30. What time I come on? I like doing this too because it keeps me from eating. That's why I try to live stream a lot, because if I just sit around, don't do nothing, I'll be eating. But I come on here and be dropping 3 and 4 hours. I don't think about eating no food. So I got to stay active. What is today, Saturday? It's Saturday night. Do I need to go out tonight? I don't even go out, y'all. I don't go out or anything. I don't go to clubs or nothing like that. I just read books and study and make videos and edit and shit like that. But I guess I should count my blessings, huh? So what do they call it? I guess I'm an incel. Ugu Waku, I know, $5. Appreciate that. Mr. G. Kendall Outlaw, thank you. G-Mage, I got everybody. Fred, well, y'all got some names, man. Don't get mad at me. I butcher your name. Says Futez, $10. I appreciate that. Michael Alexander, I appreciate the 5 bones, bro. At least thank that. Thank you, Fred. I appreciate that money, man. I appreciate that. It means y'all took some value in what I said tonight. I want you to do your research. I don't want you just to believe the things that I'm saying. I want you to I love the United States of America. I was born here. You can say what you want. This was the original Egypt, and this is Timbuktu and all of that. But I grew up in Dallas, Texas. I had grandparents who lived in Turtle, Texas. Jamie Foxx, believe it or not, was a childhood friend of mine. I don't know if that is him. That he looks strange. Don't come asking me about it. He's a clone. I grew up with him from early childhood. He's from Turtle, Texas. His grandparents lived right around the corner of my grandparents. We were real close. We played on the same baseball team, soccer team, all the way up, did all kind of stuff growing up. Watched them play piano, all this. And those were very fond memories in Turtle, Texas with my grandparents. Y'all hear me talk about my grandmother all the time. My grandfather used to give him piano lessons, things like that. You know, I had a very beautiful time growing up in Texas. And I love that. And what I see the country becoming, you know, it's like the destruction of families, rise of feminism, promiscuity, all that. You know, we had issues. I'm not saying things were perfect, but it's like it's a total collapse. It's like we head into a total collapse. And I think that for evil to flourish, all it needs is for good men to do nothing. And I know it's still a lot of good men out there, but I think that they feel like they're helpless. Or they just feel like, what can I do? And it starts on the small scale. It starts by taking corrective action on a daily basis. When somebody comes into your face, you know, somebody, your children say something out of pocket. Or make sure, guard your children. Guard their heart, for out of it are the issues of life. Don't let your children go to these liberal schools and get indoctrinated with an ideology that goes against, those are your children. You raise them in your image and after your likeness. Teach a child the way he should go, and when he is older, he will not depart from it. All right, with that being said, I guess I can end it on that note. I enjoyed it tonight. Peace to all the gods and goddesses. Like, comment, and subscribe. Currency Circulator is booming. We're approaching about 1,200 people who signed up. I'm trying to get it to 10,000. Once I get it to 10,000, hopefully I will be issuing out $5,000 and $10,000 checks every day. That's what I'm trying to get it to. I'm just sign up for your $45 and refer 2 people. That's all I'm asking you to do right now. Sign up to SPC University. You sign up on SPC University. Because I really want y'all to get this money. Y'all don't really understand that I really am trying to get y'all this money and put it in y'all pocket. For real. Let me see. Yeah, I'm just going to show y'all real quick where to go. Once you sign up, SPC University. All right, it's going to take, as soon as you sign up, you're going to get taken to the dashboard right here. This is where you're going to go, right here where it says affiliate dashboard. You're going to sign up right there. There's a video right there explaining what it is and what I'm doing. All right, you're going to register right here. You're going to click on the free registration. All right, you're going to be put in a holding tank, and my people are going to, once they verify your payment, they're going to put you in. All right, I'm doing meetings this week on it, and I'm going to do some stuff on YouTube too and show y'all what's going on. All right, behind it, how I'm doing this. But every single person who joins is going to get paid because it operates in a single file line. Meaning whatever point, if you number 7 in line, you the 7th in line to get paid. If you number 1,000 in line, you number 1,000 in line to get paid. And once this thing starts flowing, trust me, it's going to be new people getting paid all the time. It ain't like it's going to be moving real slow. It's going to be boom, 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 boom. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. I want to see every day somebody getting paid. Trust me. That's my dream, to get y'all out of debt, to get all of you out of debt. Peace to the gods. You've been listening to the hottest radio network on the planet, High Frequency Radio. My name is Yusef. Peace, God, like, comment, and subscribe.